What's up? I'm professional shooting coach Colin Castello with ShotMechanics Basketball, and today we've got Devin Booker Shooting Secrets, Part 2. Now, I did a quick Devin Booker Shooting Secrets when he was very first drafted, but I wanted to give an update, and we've had a lot of requests for it as well, so I gotta give the people what they want. Now, I'm all about making the videos you guys wanna see, so to help me with that, I've partnered with a brand new app called Arbit, which you can download at the App Store or at the link in the description down below. Now, what's cool about Arbit is it's like a lot of social other media platforms, except for it's strictly for polling. So what I can do is I can take your comments and your suggestions down below, put two players up against each other, and then you can vote against them. So what I did for this video was I saw a lot of requests for Devin Booker, and I saw a lot of requests for Eric Gordon, so I put them up against each other in a poll, and Devin Booker won by a landslide. All right, so if you want to join us on the official polling partner of ShotMechanics, just download the Arbit app, link in the description, follow me at ShotMechanics, and start voting so I can know exactly what content I want to make for you guys. And to do you guys a solid, I've also included a free exclusive shooting workout brought to you by Arbit that you can get to with a link right inside my bio inside of the app. All right, so now let's jump right into Devin Booker's shooting secrets. So starting with his foundation, the first thing we notice is his foot tilt, meaning that Devin Booker doesn't square up to the basket when he shoots, but instead tilts his feet just slightly to the left. Now, if you've been watching for a while, this is not new information, but it's still one of the most frequently asked questions that I get. Now, this plays a huge role in Devin's jump shot because the relief of the tension in his shoulders allows him for that signature silky smooth jump shot. Now, one quick note is sometimes he does catch a little bit more square to the basket, but most of the time on his release, his feet will rotate around, landing with a tilt. So the next thing I want to talk about is how Devin Booker loads his hips and gets what we call the zigzag. By this, what I mean is that his feet, legs, and body make a zigzag pattern. So it starts at his feet, then moves to his shins, then moves to his thighs, and then moves to his chest. Now, the major key to the zigzag is the chest angle. A lot of players will have their chest facing more towards the rim, but if you notice, a lot of elite shooters like Devin Booker have their chest facing more towards the ground. So an issue that a lot of athletes have is because their chest is up, they're not getting that hip load, so they're not getting that pop and power into their jump shot, so they're missing a lot of shots short. So do yourself a favor and check out your chest angle and see if you're getting that optimal zigzag with your chest forward, because many times just this one tweak can really increase your shooting percentage right away. From there, one of the next things we notice is the body space Devin Booker gets. And basically, this just means the space between the basketball and his body as he's bringing it up to a set point. Now, a lot of players, especially younger ones, will bring the ball really tight up to their body to try to slingshot it towards the basket. But with Devin, notice that there's a nice space between his chest and the basketball as it's on its way up. Now, this is important because of the chain reaction it sets off. By bringing the ball further away from his body, it allows his shooting elbow to get underneath the basketball and in perfect alignment with the rim. So when players don't have that space in between the ball and their chest, a lot of times it will shove their shooting elbow out so that everything's going to be out of alignment by the time it reaches the set point. Now, one thing that can make this a little bit difficult is if defenders are playing you really tight and you still need to get off your jump shot. Now, most of the time, great shooters in this situation will either not shoot if the defender's too close, or they'll bring the ball up a different shot line. On this clip, you can see the defender's taking away a lot of his airspace, so instead of bringing the ball straight up in front of his body, he's going to bring it up the left side of his body. But if you're a younger player, I probably wouldn't recommend altering your shot line unless it's a have to shoot situation like a buzzer beater or end of game. But check your chest space and see if this will help you out. All right, next let's talk about Devin Booker's lift on his jump shot. Now, a lot of the elite shooters in the NBA don't jump very high on their shot. Guys like Steph Curry and James Harden. But Devin Booker's different. He gets a lot of lift on his jump shot most of the time, and a bunch of it has to do with that zigzag that we talked about earlier. But another key that helps is that most of the time he keeps both of his heels off the ground when he's loading into his shot. This allows for his ankles, knees, and hips to all work together simultaneously and almost use his body like a natural springboard into his jump shot. So all he has to do is pop off the balls of his feet, and that momentum is going to easily transfer into his body and thus give him better lift. So I would film your own jump shot and then check to make sure that your heels are off the ground when you're getting ready to shoot. All right, so moving up his jumper, let's talk about his set point. And his set point is basically just the point from where the ball starts moving from up to forward towards the basket. Now, most great shooters have a set point somewhere between their eyebrow and the middle of their forehead. But you can see that Devin's is a little bit higher above his forehead, more like Kobe Bryant. Now, there's benefits and drawbacks to having a higher set point like this. The benefit is you can get your shot off over pretty much anybody. But the drawback is if you haven't optimized your upward momentum, it's going to be really hard to get enough power in your shot. So for younger shooters, I probably wouldn't recommend this unless you have completely optimized your upward momentum and are getting enough power. Now, one thing that you do notice is that having a higher set point does help when shooting in the mid-range because normally you're shooting over defenders. And if you really break down Devin's game, he hits a lot of mid-range jumpers, and one of the things that makes him such a valuable scorer. So one thing that can help if you're a younger player is have a higher set point on your mid-range shot than you do on your three-pointer. That way you can shoot over defenders from mid-range, but you can still get enough power from three. And then finishing off his jump shot, let's talk about Devin's perfect release. And the biggest part of this is the angle of his release. You'll notice that his shooting elbow is just above his eye line as he releases, giving him that optimal arc. Having this high release mathematically gives him a higher probability of hitting shots because the ball sees a larger target area as it's coming towards the basket. Then he pairs a perfectly timed wrist snap with his high release to make sure that he gets good touch and spin on the basketball. And this spin on the basketball is important because number one, it decelerates the speed of the ball when it's coming down. And number two, if the ball does end up hitting the rim, the backspin will suck it into the net. So make sure you're finishing with a high release angle and a quick snap at that wrist to get that optimal release. All right, if this video helped you out, hit that like button, pop that subscription button, and then hit the comments and let me know what sort of video you want to see next. And then download Arbit, because once I see those comments, I'm going to start putting these polls together, and you guys can vote to see exactly what sort of videos we make next. Again, I'm Coach Colin Castello with ShotMechanics Basketball. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, splash on.